Is your diet normal? Before we discuss this, I wanted to give you a quick background on food allergy and some dramatic and recent changes that have occurred in our human diet. Let's start with a few quick facts, and then we'll move on to the fascinating topic of food and diet. Food allergy is increasing every year, and if you have a child that you know with a food allergy, they are certainly not alone. 8% of American children have food allergies, 10% of Australian children, 6 to 8% of UK children, 5 to 6% of Canadian children, and on it goes. You're definitely not alone. These are huge numbers. Worldwide, this is 84 million children that have been diagnosed with food allergies. In the U.S., food allergies among children increased roughly 50% between 1997 and 2011. In fact, the number of children in the U.S. with a peanut allergy more than tripled between 1997 and 2008. In the UK, each year, the number of allergy sufferers is rising. It's increasing by about 5%, and half of all affected people are children. In Europe, the number of hospital admissions for severe allergic reactions in children has increased sevenfold in the last 10 years. Even in Japan, food allergies among school children are rising significantly. Among U.S. children, the most common food allergy is to peanut. Including peanut, 8 types of food account for over 90% of allergic reactions. The others are milk, eggs, tree nuts, fish, shellfish, soy, and wheat. Humans have been around for roughly 200,000 years. Until 500 generations ago, all humans ate food that was wild, unprocessed, locally obtained, fresh, in season, and organic. In fact, these types of diets usually provided humans with about 2 to 10 times the current recommended daily allowance of various nutrients. About 12,000 years ago, humans began agriculture. This was a major change in the human diet, but we were still able to maintain our health. In the early 1900s, the first modern tractors came on the scene after the invention of the internal combustion engine, the basis of the automobile. So from the first tractor until this moment is only about 100 years. The 1940s and 1950s were considered the start of the pesticide era, when large amounts of synthetic pesticide began to be manufactured. In fact, health guru David Wolfe often asked, "Did you know that there are over 77,000 known synthetic chemicals that have been manufactured since the 1940s? They are found in the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe." In 1967, the first microwave oven was put on the market, and that led to a huge new market in TV dinners, which had only been invented a decade earlier. All these were huge changes, but the biggest changes have been in just the past 20 to 30 years. That's when a slew of new additives and highly refined foods were developed and heavily marketed. Now we have high fructose corn syrup, introduced in the late 1970s, aspartame, introduced in the mid-1970s, and a slew of food-like products that have never existed at any time during our history. The 1980s and 1990s gave us both an increase in fast food and gradual increases in portion sizes, the supersizing of food first in America, later Britain and other countries. Instead of an apple a day, advertising planted the idea that mothers should include a sugary candy or chocolate snack in their children's lunchboxes. And in the mid to late 1990s, in the U.S., genetically modified foods were silently allowed to infiltrate the food supply. And since then, they have found their way into the global food supply. In the old days, meaning the early 1900s, not so long ago in the scheme of things, a snack or a sweet was something that you had once in a while on a special occasion. Ooh, Grandma baked an apple pie! Or, Johnny is having a birthday! Mama is baking a cake! Wow! Today, these once-in-a-while indulgences have become a daily event. Sugary treats and snacks, dessert after dinner, soft drinks and processed juice every single day. We've lost the idea of a special occasion because now every day is ripe for a boatload of sugar, and the sugar content of many of our snacks has increased at the same time. This chart gives you a visual on how much we've changed. Back in 1820, the average American consumed about 7 pounds of sugar a year, and that's about one 12-ounce soda every 5 days. As of 2012 figures, Americans are consuming 130 pounds per year on average, roughly 17 sodas every 5 days, and it's possible that since then it's gone up even more. Here we see a general recommendation from the American Heart Association not to consume more than 9.5 teaspoons of sugar per day. Meanwhile, the average adult consumes 22 teaspoons per day, and the average child is consuming 32 teaspoons of sugar per day. If you do the math, you discover that the average American child is consuming 11,680 teaspoons of sugar per year. That's a lot of sugar. During the past 30 years, the period of the most extreme change in our diets, diseases that used to occur only in older people have started to occur at much younger ages. Type 2 diabetes used to be called adult-onset diabetes until lots of children started getting it. This is only within the past 3 decades. Breast cancer used to be a rare phenomenon in younger women. A woman in her 30s with breast cancer was almost unheard of. Now it's common in this age group and even younger. What I hope you take away from this overview is that the diet that we all consider normal today is far from it. So what about you? What kinds of food did you eat as a child? Has your diet changed in any way since then? What about your grandparents? Was their diet different from yours? Have a think about that before you move on to the next video.